Morning, welcome to Cooking with Gramps, and today we're going to be making Seville orange marmalade. What do you need to make this? You need a good big pan, as big as you've got, because it saves splashing stuff all over. Measuring jug, thing for squeezing the lemons, and a plate for other bits. Also you need a sharp knife, which is good because there's a bit to do. Need jam sugar, and also jam jars. You can see I've taken the label off these, so they're pretty good, and they'll go in the oven for half an hour or so with the lid off, so they're sterilised, ready for putting the marmalade in. So, where do you go? You make sure you've got some jam pot covers. The other thing you need are Seville oranges and lemons. So today we've got about a bit over a kilo of oranges and a couple of lemons, which will only need the juice. So a kilo of oranges, kilo of sugar, and that will make 5 or 6 this size of jam pot. So there you go. So what do we need? We need to stick these oranges in boiling water for an hour and a half. So in the go, just take the pips out, the top, and we'll stick them all in here and stick them on the stove for an hour and a half, and then the fun starts when we take them out. So we'll see you later when we're on with that. So I'll have a cup of coffee now and turn this off. So here we go. An hour and a half down the line, and the oranges have been sat in boiling water for that period of time. So now I've got to take them out and let them cool a bit. So here we go. I like to top up the water to make sure that it don't run dry at all. As you can see, I had the lid on. So we'll get them out and let them cool off, because obviously they're hot. Before I start chopping them up when they're cooled off, I'm going to put some newspaper on the floor, because it does tend to get a bit sticky. Now I've got to reserve some of the juice that's in the pan. That's why I got the measuring jug out. We want most of, whoops, there you go, most of 400 ml in there, which we've got. Tip that away, then the pan will be ready to receive the flesh of the oranges, and also the peel when I've chopped all that up. But they're too hot to mess about with now, so I'll see you again in a few minutes time when they've cooled off. Well, now we're there, put some newspaper on the floor, because it can get a bit sticky and it doesn't go down too well with the other people who live here. So there we go. So we'll try and chop some of these up with this big chopper. A bit cooler now. Cut them into quarters, and they're still not cold. And it makes it easier to get the flesh out and separate the pips from the rest of it. Yeah. Just a bit of a ball ache doing all this lot, but it has to be done. You can see the amount of juice that's coming out of these. It can get everywhere. There we go, last one. All you need now is a teaspoon or something to just pull the flesh out and separate the pips. Don't want any of these pips in the jam, so put them on a plate just to the side there. Ah! Probably in the end, I think I always tend to check it with my fingers rather than get some of these little boys in the jam. Right, so I'm going to let those cool off now and do a few more while we're not on camera, so to speak, and then we'll meet you back later in the day when all these are nicely done and carry on making the marmalade. So these are the last two bits, taking all the pith out and making sure no seeds are left in there, which will break your teeth. So there you go, that's the last of those. It's a lot easier doing it when they're cold, saves your fingers a bit. Right, so this is the fleshy bits that we can chuck in the pan there. And if you remember, I reserved some of the juice that the water that we cooked the oranges in. There's what, 350 ml in there. Put that in there, and then we'll start slicing up the actual thing. That's all the stuff that's come out that will go in the bin. So here we go. Just wipe the old fingers. This is where you can decide how thick or chunky you want your marmalade. I've been accused before, being a bloke, it's very chunky. There's another seed I didn't get out. So I'm trying my best to make it a bit less chunky. But if you need your fingernails trimming, this is probably the time you're going to do it with this big knife I've got in my hands, which is pretty damn sharp because it makes life easier. But there you go. So I've got a few minutes of doing this, and it will go in the pan with that 200 or 350 ml of water that the oranges are cooked in, and then we'll get on to the next bit. Well, that looks a bit big. So there you go. So I'll see you again in a few minutes' time. Well, the last two bits of orange to slice up. I wouldn't call it fine cut, but it's, I think it'll be okay, and it'll be taste absolutely fine. And I've only trimmed one fingernail so far, so it's all good. So there, that's it done, that's that bit done. And I've chucked much stuff on the floor. Right, you'll remember I mentioned about lemon juice. Once 2 lemons, just the juice. This is a bit of a dry old lemon, so that one can go in as well. And a couple here. Best if you put the bottom on the thing for a start. So that dry old lemon juice didn't actually go in, it went all over the worktop. Anyway, here we go. Here's the 2 rest of the lemons. Find any cuts on your fingers anyway. Right, there you go. So that's in there. And now we want to put the sugar in and mix it up, bring up the boil. So the kilo of sugar will go in just a moment, and then we can get on and do the rest of it. I've put the jam jars in the oven to heat up, and so there we go. That's on sort of a medium heat, and it's a matter of stirring this lot now, which you can't see because I've moved the thing around. There you go. So that's on the heat, and stir it round on the heat until all the sugar's dissolved. And then we bring it up to the boil when all of it's dissolved, and let it boil, simmer for 8 minutes. It seems to be that the 8 minutes is fairly critical. So keep stirring this until it's good and mixed. You'll see then that it comes off the sides of the saucepan better, because the sugar tends to stick to the side a bit. But you do realise it was jam sugar, not ordinary caster sugar or anything. Some people might say it's okay to do the other, but I don't. If you're going to go to all this effort and faff, you might as well use the proper stuff. So there you go. So when it's all dissolved, it'll be brought to the boil and simmer gently for 8 minutes. So see that. So that's all the sugar now is not sticking, or there is no sugar now sticking to the side of the saucepan. So give it a go and let it come to the boil and then simmer for the prescribed 8 minutes. The jam jars are in the oven, so they'll be sterilised, and then we'll be able to fill the jars. Right, it's boiled away for about 6 minutes now, so it's a matter of testing it to see whether it's firm or not, which is always a bit of a gamble, I think. But just to put it on a damp saucer, a cold saucer, pull it across, and if it leaves a bit of a gap in the thing, I'm told it's pretty much there. And also, if you drip it off a spoon, not far off. So you don't want it too runny when you've done it, and you don't want it so hard nothing happens. It's just like a big solid jelly. So pour a bit more on, and it leaves a gap in the two bits of through the middle there. Oh, I think that's about ready. Probably wrong, but you never know. Whoa, Christ, it tastes good. Right, so stick it in the jars. The jars are here, and the good old ladle with a spout on is pretty good for doing it. You'll still spill some wherever, but pretty good. Give it a bit of a stir, and away we go. The more care you do with this, the better it is, because there isn't so much to clean up. Always some. Fill them as full as you can get them, so there's as little air as possible left at the top when you put the jam pot labels on. See, I spilled a load of it there. Well, it's not like a liquid, is it? It comes out in lumps, so to speak. Turn that off before I set myself on fire. So here we go. I think we're going to get a good six jars, if not a bit more. I'm going to get six anyway. Just about got it all. There you go. Whoops, get in there. So, there you go, 6 jars. We'll get the jam pot labels out. As soon as you can get these on, they're greased, and so they attach themselves to the jam. And hopefully, whoops, here we go. Just pat them down on the top, cover as much as you can. God, that one's full. That one's better. We're getting your fingers stuck in it, because as you'll know, it's boiling hot. This pot's a bit bigger, so you'll probably get 3 labels. So there you go. That is about it. It's a matter now of letting it cool. Then we can put these plastic sheets on with the rubber band, and then the actual jam pot lids. So there is marmalade. Totally unhealthy with that much sugar in, but by God, it tastes good. And what I've done as well, I've made some nice labels. So you can see them, yeah, nice labels. so they'll be on the jars, makes it look a bit better because you end up giving it a good lot of it away. But not a bad way to spend a wet morning. So more of cooking with Gramps, coming on quite soon.